Hey Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. It really means a lot to me. I got asked a question. I wish I can show you an example, but I would be breaking all kinds of confidentiality by doing this. Look, when we take on studies, we sign all kinds of CDAs, NDAs. I wish I can show you what IRT was, but instead, you get the next best thing. You get to hear me talk to you about what these things are. So trust me, you're not missing out on much. The interface is very similar to an EDC, electronic data capture system. I think EDC would be like the best way to describe it. And really, as we go through this video, you're going to see why like the lines actually being blurred between EDC and IRT, hopefully for the better, hopefully leaves less mundane tasks like data entry for study coordinators to do. But basically, IRT stands for Interactive Response Technology. I'm reading from Sudova here, which is a website. I just found one that I think does basic summary. I'm gonna give you like their academic lingo for what it is, and then I'll break it down and give you like practical answers to what it is. So another term that has been used to describe is randomization and trial supply management. Essentially, IRT helps clinical trial sponsors and sites manage the patient and drug supply logistics throughout a clinical trial. Because of its ability to offer control and flexibility while increasing efficiency, what it just described was what we used to call an IWRS, which is an interactive web response system. Prior to that, it was by phone, IVRS, interactive voice response system. You need a tool when you're in a study. You need a tool to make it official that you've screened a patient. And not official like your source or like a log that you keep in your reg binder, but like something that the sponsor can see, okay, this is patient number 1 at this site. This patient's officially screened. That is now IRT. That's what IRT is for. That is what IWRS was for. Sometimes you still hear these things being used interchangeably because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The outcome is subjects officially screened, subjects officially randomized, subjects officially early terminated, subjects officially screen failed, subjects officially assigned their regular study visits. Now, the smart people who invented this technology thought, okay, if we're doing all that to manage randomization, screenings, and also drug supply, why don't we tie in, if it's their visit too and they're supposed to be assigned this drug, why don't we just automatically make that happen through the IRT? So that is now done as well. Drug resupply. That usually took, sometimes in the past it took different portals to make that happen. Now it's done together. But they've even gone a step further. Now they say, well, since we're managing the drug supply at the site and the site's managing their drug supply through this portal, we know which kits have been assigned to which subject on what dates. Why don't we allow the sites to resupply? Or even better, why don't we sometimes automatically resupply the sites when they need drug, just in time need? And so this is another thing that IRTs do. It allows sites to manage their drug supply, their investigational product, whether it's done automatically by the sponsor or whether this coordinator has to go in there and request a resupply. It's done. You can even take it a step further, IRTs, with like more complicated dosing of investigational products where you have to adjust the dose based on the patient's weight. The IRTs, some of the modern IRTs will actually adjust the dose for you. It also goes a step further. I've seen many IRTs now also integrate with electronic patient reported outcomes, otherwise known as e-diaries or patient diaries. So oftentimes when patients have to be assigned a diary, a patient reported outcome, usually they're digital now, they usually get a text on their phone or they'll get an email with a link to a mobile browser. These can all be managed from IRTs as well on the site side. Patients don't interact with IRTs. The IRTs is for sites to interact. And then sponsors use the IRTs to also have a macro overview of what's going on. A thing that I've liked, that like a recent trend, is sometimes basic data like subject number and demographics, once it's entered in IRT, will automatically be entered into the EDC. what a concept. Like, it's taking away more work from the coordinators, more of the mundane work. So this is awesome. I would like for it to also be a place where we could request lab supplies, but for the most part, those are separate portals managed by the lab vendors. It will be nice to one day have a one sign-in portal for all things that coordinators need. The IRTs have a lot of potential to make that happen. Really, what's left is labs, like I said. Maybe some ECG portals like cardio safety, any other vendors for medical assessments. Those would be tougher to get integrated with IRT, like imaging, let's say imaging, X-ray imaging for certain studies, or MRI imaging. Those will be tougher because those portals are more fragmented. And also IRB, like throwing in the IRB portal, which, as you know, that'll be tougher to do too, because that'll actually be easier to do than the medical assessment. But we're moving towards an era where the IRT is kind of the hub for everything, and I kind of like it. So that's IRT in a nutshell. Hopefully this helps. I wish I could show it to you, but I'd probably get sued my pants off. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.